Hello everyone, it is Hunter, and welcome to my first ever 100% achievement video. And we are going to be doing Megabonk. Now, when I first started doing my Megabonk playthrough, it was for my Game Glimpse series, so I had not really planned on doing an 100% achievement run. So some of the actual first achievements, which you can probably see in my Game Glimpse video, are not actually in this video, as I apparently lost the footage before starting to do this run. So the achievements: Aura for not taking damage for 2 minutes, Tactical Glasses for defeating a mini-boss in 25 seconds, Boss Buster for defeating a stage boss in under 30 seconds, Clank for completing the forest on tier 1, Battery for upgrading the cooldown to level 5, XP Tome for breaking 20 pots, Ghost for surviving the final swarm for 60 seconds, Bananarang for finding the hidden banana, Forbidden Juice for critting 100 times, Calcium for killing 1,000 skeletons, Quantity Tome for firing 5,000 projectiles, Key for purchasing 25 chests, Demonic Soul for reaching level 30 as Calcium, Dragonfire for killing 10,000 people with fire, Revolver for killing 7,500 enemies in general? Okay. And Idle Juice for killing 500 enemies while standing still, are all before this recording starts. But from here on out, I have pretty sure captured every achievement. So sit back, relax, and check out the 100% achievement run. Now in the early game, achievements come in pretty thick and fast. In my next run, I managed to snag the Axe achievement, the Blood Tome achievement, the Armor Tome achievement, the Refresh achievement, and the Aegis achievement. I decided to stream my first run of the next day, and maybe it was the extra distraction of talking on stream, but I managed to die to the first boss. But at least it got me the Cursed Doll achievement.
Embarrassing.
The next run was a lot more successful, with us getting the Attraction Tome for activating 8 of the Suck Shrines, the Golden Sneakers for busting 150 pots, and the Luck Tome, which is a 1 in like 1,000 or 10,000 drop chance from any enemy, and getting all those achievements completes 25 quests, also getting us the Weapon Slot achievement. The next run I focused on Overwhelming Force and got the Damage Tome to level 7, getting us the Mega Chad character. Next run I used the unlocked Mega Chad, who has a big AoE aura around him, which does damage to anything nearby, which got me the 15,000 goblins killed achievement. I knocked out a few quick achievements over the next couple of runs, killing a weird bush monster, healing a bunch to get our Demon Blade, which completed 30 quests, got a sniper rifle, got a monkey, and unlocked the next map, the desert. Now, some of you might have noticed that a lot of these achievements you just sort of get from playing the game, and don't really have to go out of your way for them. That's what the next few are. You've got the Thorns Tome for just killing people with the Aegis item, Tome of Slots for 35 completed quests, Brass Knuckles for 5,000 enemies with a sword, Turbo Socks for upgrading the Agility Tome, Wall Hugger for avoiding fall damage. The Boombox achievement, which is activating all boombox on the forest, is the first one that I actually had to focus on getting, which is really funny because it's the only one whose reward I've never used, because it lets you choose the music you have on when you're playing the game, but I just watch YouTube videos while playing the game, so it doesn't really do much for me. Next was Banished for completing 40 quests, Lightning Orb for killing 3,000 enemies, Grandma's Secret Tonic for 3,000 enemies with a sniper rifle. The Lightning Orb naturally is 3,000 with lightning damage. Then came Speedy Boy, killing a stage boss, or completing a stage, with at least 2 boss curses activated. Once again, that's technically something you could have done just by playing the game, but I don't think anyone really activates boss curse statues on a normal run, so I class this as something you have to go out of your way to do. Same with fighting the bandit in the desert, a lot like the bush guy, and completing the bandit unlocked 25 quests, giving us a second weapon slot. 45 quests, I should say. I next decided I should probably just start focusing on unlocking specific things. So I unlocked the ninja by completing the desert 1, Athena by getting thorns to level 9, Robinette by unlocking the tier 2 of the forest, the Echo Shard by knocking out the XP time to level 8, the Wireless Dagger, which turned out to be one of my favourite weapons, by getting a lightning to level 15, the Lightning Staff, Poison Flask by killing the sussy named Scorpion in the desert 3 times, second tome slot was at the same time by knocking out 55 quests, Blood Magic by getting Blood Tome to level 12, Frostwalker by freezing 1,000 enemies with the Ice Cube, and the Katana by finding it inside a tumbleweed inside the desert. Tony McZoom by completing 2 challenges, which also gave us 40 unlocks for the Toggler, which turned out to be a very, very useful ability so that I could turn off a lot of the items I wasn't really a big fan of. Next we got the Skull, whose name I can't pronounce, by getting our difficulty to 40, Amog by doing a lot of damage with the poison moldy cheese, Toxic Barrel by killing 2,000 enemies with poison, and the Gas Mask by killing 5,000 with Amog. Poison turned out to be my favourite way to kill things and really helped with the challenges later on. Now we're entering into what I am calling Phase 2 of this achievement hunt. This is where I've put the game down for about a week due to personal reasons, and I've come back to find that the developer has added the Halloween edition and all the Halloween achievements, putting me now back below 50% again. This is where I decided to just sort of focus on getting achievements and not worry about anything else. So with that in mind, we knock out a stage boss kill without picking up any items, power-ups, or using any shrines, pretty easily with leveling up, and we manage to kill it in under 5 minutes, which also gets us the the Cursed Tome. Future Hunter here. I realise I forgot to mention the Hero Sword, which we also got here, which is extra funny because I forget about the Hero Sword as a weapon and choose not to use it. We then nip over to the desert, charge up a few shrines during a sandstorm to get an achievement there, play some Clank to get 15,000 kills, which unlocks the rockets, also a really, really strong weapon. We run around in the desert as Calcium, defeating a bunch of mini bosses to unlock the new graveyard I just mentioned earlier. And finally, we run around popping open tumbleweeds until we find the shotgun. So I played on Christmas Day and picked up 2 achievements, the Ice Crystal and the Poison Gloves. I then found a Santa hat a day or 2 later. Ooh, hold the phone. Is this going to be a horrible boss? Santa hat. Oh, it's an achievement. And just after that, I completed 3 challenges, getting myself the anvil. Oh, that's so good. That's unbelievably good. I don't think I'm going to do the AFK one again. I feel like the never taking damage one would be easier. As you can hear, I am quite happy about getting this challenge. That is definitely not foreshadowing for how annoying they are in the future. We then rapid fired out a few more achievements. Sticky Magnet by getting every shrine on a map. Turbo Skate by having cooldown and agility tomes, both leveled to 5 in a run. Duration Tome by getting the axe to level 10. Leeching Crystal by getting the regen tome to level 8. The Cannon by killing 5,000 enemies with rockets. And the Black Hole by getting the knockback tome to level 10. We then started to unlock some character specific challenges. We unlocked Birdo by killing 100 enemies using the tornado weapon while up in the air, carried up by a tornado. We got Noelle by microwaving the ice crystal 3 times in a row. We got the Mines by killing 7,500 enemies with the rockets, second worst weapon in the game. We unlocked Vlad by completing level 2 of the desert, and unlocked the Space Noodle by completing level 2 of the desert as Tony McZoom. Space Noodle is the worst weapon in the game. Got the Demonic Blood by increasing our max HP with blood magic 400 times. And the Holy Book by killing the first stage boss without taking any damage. We then unlocked a couple more weapons with the Dexecutor by killing 12,500 people using the sword. And the Demon's Breath by killing 1,000 wisps as Fox. Next we survived 2 minutes with some ghosts to get us Bob, and completed 100 quests to unlock the Dice Head character. The next achievement, Chaos Tome, is one of the harder ones. We have to charge every shrine in a tier 3 run across all stages without leaving the charge zone. Sounds more complicated than it is. All you need to do is go in with either Calcium or Tony McZoom for the speeder to move around the map, and you don't start charging a shrine until you know you're not going to get a boss spawn or you're not going to get a horde spawn, because those can knock you out. I had to do this twice because on the literal last shrine of my first run, some guy just knocked me off a cliff. But other than that, it's a relatively easy achievement if you focus. After the Chaos Tome, we knocked out a few rather easy achievements, with the Dice by getting Luck Tome to level 12, Sir Chadwell by completing the Tier 3 Forest. We then got our first of the challenge achievements by completing 5 challenges, and then we completed 1 more to get the Spaceman. We got the Eagle Claw by killing 10,000 enemies as Birdo, Chonk Plate by maxing your HP out to 500, not maxing but getting max HP to 500, Cursed Gloves by getting the Cursed Tome to level 10, and then we got into another hard achievement. The Cursed Sword is a rather challenging achievement. What you have to do is level up the Cursed Tome 20 times within a 10-minute gameplay window. Realistically, what that means is getting it within 1 map. The best way of doing this is to go and unlock the desert, finish tier 1 desert, and unlock the desert challenges. The first challenge of the desert, Hyper, allows you to get double XP, double gold, and at the cost of 4 times enemy scaling. What you then do is go into the shop, disable your 3rd and 4th weapon unlock, and your 3rd and 4th tome unlock. This helps you focus your upgrades and lets you have a better time choosing the Cursed Tome. You then go back into your unlocks and disable all tomes except the XP in the Cursed Tome, increasing the likelihood that you can pick them when you do the run. I recommend choosing the character of Megachad or Athena, because you're going to want either, well, both of the Aegis and the Aura weapons. That way you've got good AoE damage and a defense if something sort of slips through. Naturally, you want to pick up the XP Tome and the Cursed Tome. Now, as you do your run, you want to level up the XP Tome and your weapons to start with, to make sure you've got enough sort of killing power to survive the later parts of the run, because as you start to upgrade your curse, you're going to have more enemies come through that are stronger. Ideally, you'll have a couple of curse points in by the mid to late game, focusing on common curse upgrades only, because it's not the level of difficulty that actually matters. Once you've gotten to about the second horde wave, you should be able to kill them all with your damage you've gotten. Find a suck shrine, suck in all the XP from around the map, and with your boosts from your XP tome, you should be able to get 10 to 15 levels from all the XP lying around, and then you just dump that all into your curse book, and that will get you your Cursed Sword achievement. After that, you run into a few more easy achievements. You can get the Attraction Tome to level 8, giving you the Shattered Knowledge achievement. For the Harley Quinn mask, you have to defeat a stage boss as Athena, landing the critical finishing blow with Aegis. I just got him low and bashed my head into him and it seemed to work. Bloody Cleaver has reached level 50 as Vlad, super simple, just play him. Soul Harvest is a little harder, which is surviving the final swarm for 6 minutes. I kind of cheesed this one by getting a high armor level and accidentally getting trapped in the corner, but that seemed to work. Cactus is killing 100 cactus enemies with a thorns damage. That one's a little annoying because you need to make sure your other weapons aren't super strong, that they don't instantly kill the cactuses, but you just keep hitting them through. Energy Core, also quite easy, just kill the final boss 2 times. That's just finished 2 runs. Then there is Joe's Dagger, which has killed 10,000 enemies with the Dexecutor. Another quite simple one, is just using a weapon. Now, there are 4 achievements for getting challenges in this game. They are for getting 5 challenges, 10 challenges, 20 challenges, and 30 challenges. We've already seen the challenge 1 for 5 challenges. I guess technically there's a second one for the astronaut, but I don't count it. Here's how I recommend getting the challenges. You go into your tier 1 of your forest and you do them all. Fragile is quite annoying, but if you only have to do 1 tier, it's fine. AFK Gaming. This is the one I don't recommend. This is about not moving and just having the enemies come to you and die. This sucks because it's completely random and you usually die to a boss like really quickly. The only character I think can do this is Mega Chad, and when I got it with Mega Chad it was pure luck. Now I think you then go in, you finish everything in tier 2 that's not fragile. I did not bother with tier 3, especially not fragile, because killing that final boss, I've actually only done it twice. He is quite hard. After you've done the tier 1 and 2s in the forest, you jump over here, finish all tier 1s in the desert. Then you go to tier 2 in the desert. I recommend just doing Speedrunner 2, and then this Oh No 2 and Oh Shit 2. They just increase enemy health. If you get yourself something like a lamp with the moldy cheese as an item, and any type of projectile weapon with a projectile increasing tome, you'll smash that out piece of piss. Now what you could also do is get tier 1 of the graveyard, which also has challenges. However, I wanted to complete all my achievements in these 2 before really going for the graveyard achievements. That's going to be phase 3. We have not yet got to phase 3, but by completing all the challenges I just showed you, I was able to get challenge 2, challenge 3, and challenge 4. And as a reward, right after, I played as Mega Chad, went in, defeated a boss with having less than 10% HP, and got the final achievement pre-graveyard. I got it so easily after trying to get challenges for 2 weeks that I almost missed recording it. Now we enter into phase 3. which is basically just getting all of the achievements added with the Graveyard expansion. The Old Mask is an item you find in the graveyard on top of the tower. Pretty easy to find, just sort of jump on it. The pot, brackets stainless steel, you have to get by opening every chest and pot in the first crypt before the graveyard. A little annoying, but with a fast character like Tony or Calcium, it's pretty easy. Next is discovering the secret room inside the crypt for the snake. Or snack. Basically you trigger a pressure pad and then use a jump to the other side of the room, and it's through the lava in a hidden room. Kevin is just 3 leeching crystals in a run, really easy, you just duplicate them, not even worth thinking about. The scythe you get by killing Big Bob, which is the main boss of the graveyard. Roberto, this one's annoying. To get Roberto, you have to kill Spooky Steve. Now, Spooky Steve is the ghost that shows up in the crypt when you haven't gotten through in enough time. Spooky Steve has a bullshit amount of health, and does like 1,000,000 damage on hit. The only way to get Spooky Steve dead is with the Dexecutor, because it does an execution effect which does like, I don't know, 1 to 3% or whatever it is of his health. However, that's a random trigger, so you need to get high attack speed. Because it's a random trigger, it's going to take a minute. Because it takes a minute, he's going to touch you, which means you have to permanently stun him. This took a while. I got run after run getting the lamp, the ice cube and the lightning ball to permanently stun him, but apparently that's not good enough and he will ignore those stuns. Eventually I got it by using, of all things, the thunder mitts and the duration tome to keep him locked down while I hit him over and over again with the Dexecutor. Honestly, a very stupid boss. Not a fan, 0 out of 10. After killing Spooky Steve, the next achievement was relatively simple. You had to break all the pumpkins as Roberto, the character you get from killing Spooky Steve. Simple, not worth mentioning. Next is the Wizard Hat. You get this by playing as Vlad, having the pot item, and leveling up a weapon to above max level, with max level being normally 40. Easiest way to do this, lower the amount of weapons you've got, lower the amount of tomes you've got, make sure at least one of the tomes is XP, and I say the other tome should be luck to make sure you get the pot item. Finally, we have kill Big Bob using a lantern. Our last achievement. Yeah, Bob's light. Oh, feels a little anticlimactic. Maybe should have saved one of the hard ones to last, but that's it. 100%. I hope. Let me check Steam. What's happening in the background? It doesn't matter. All achievements done. GG. Now we can play the game for fun. So as you can tell by my rather jubilant reaction, we are done. We have 100%ed Megabonk. As of the 18th of January 2026. If any more achievements come out, I'm not counting it. I'll probably still go for them though, this is pretty fun. This was a rather easy game to 100% if I'm honest. I'm not usually super big on 100% in games, but I found this one quite fun. Most of the achievements sort of led into something, which I think really helped. So I think I might probably do a few more. This was a fun little project. If you can think of any games that you would like me to look at 100%ing, drop a comment in the comments and I'll have a look at them. And thank you for watching. This has been a fun little project. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down and let me know what your most annoying achievement was. That obviously wasn't Spooky Steve, because that guy takes the cake. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.